We offer our reverential salutations at the divine lotus feet of the loving Lord, Sri Satya Sai Baba. Sai Ram, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to the first day of our Zonal Young Adults Festival. Very exciting. So, quick introduction. I am actually Sister Krishana from USA Region 7, San Francisco specifically, but originally I'm from Malaysia.
Sai Ram, I am Harsha from Region 10 currently, but originally from Region 6.
So, as you all know, the theme this year is Dare to be Divine. Swami has given us this incredible opportunity to spend this weekend together, to experience his love, and to embrace our inner divinity. Swami says we're all inherently divine. So it's not about doing something that's outside us, but recognizing what's in us. Over the last couple months, we've all been encouraged to take up some pre-festival sadhanas, like prayers and meditation on a daily basis, practicing a healthy lifestyle, service to others, reading Sai literature, and a personal favorite of mine, sealing on desires. I've been doing my best to meditate every day and curb my shopping habit.
I can definitely relate to that, Krishana. So we'd like to hear from you. Tell us some of the things that you all have been daring to be divine with in the last couple months. Just go ahead and raise your hand. Don't everybody raise your hand at once.
If you don't volunteer, I'll pick on you. So you might as well raise your hand. No? No? Madhu, would you like to share?
I was trying to exercise 30 minutes at least 3 times a week.
Awesome.
She said 30 minutes of meditation at least 3 times a week. Oh, exercise 3. Oh, I thought exercise meditation. Just kidding. I saw a hand over here. Yes.
Niraj.
Brother said, being fearless, not having any limitations on myself, daring to do anything.
It's very in line with our theme.
Shall we take one more? Yes.
I've been practicing gratitude.
Sister said practicing gratitude. Yes.
That's wonderful. Thank you guys for being brave and sharing.
So, as Brother Satishan mentioned, this festival has been over a year, over even 2 years in the making. And it really has been for the young adults, from the young adults, and by the young adults. Swami says, the future of the country depends on the skill and the sincerity of the youth. Therefore, the necessary enthusiasm and encouragement must be generated among the youth. All my hopes are based on the students, the youth. They are very dear to me. So, Krishana, this is my first youth conference.
That's very exciting.
It is extremely exciting. And on the bus here, I was just in awe of how many other fellow youth there are in the world who have come together this weekend out of pure love for Swami, taken time out of their busy schedules to be here. And it's absolutely incredible, and I'm so excited.
Yep, it's such an incredible inspiration. I was floating around the registration desks earlier, and it was so fun to see everybody participating in the welcome activities, putting your beans in the jar for the sadhanas that you've done. And I hope that you'll continue to participate. Having said that, I hope you've all taken up a dare at the welcome desk that you'll be doing over the next couple days so you can share your experiences with us. In addition, we have lots of exciting workshops planned, an exhibition that will have a photo booth, strike a good pose, a painting booth, other fun activities, yoga. There will be skits put on by young adults from across different regions, and satsang with our speakers. I'm personally really looking forward to the introspection and meditation workshop. Like I mentioned, I've been practicing that daily, and I'm looking forward to continue to hone that here.
I'm actually excited for attitude of gratitude. I heard that out there earlier. Technology and Sai, we use technology all day, everywhere. So I'm really excited for that, as well as I work one-on-one with clients, and so I really want to hone in on how to connect at a heart-to-heart level. Swami has reminded us time and time again that we are all inherently divine. And so I hope that over the next few days, we really get to understand that and our true nature.
I love that. So Harsha, here's a fun fact for you.
Yes.
My mom and our next speaker were childhood neighbors.
Really?
Yep. Personally, he has been such an inspiration to me growing up. In fact, he probably doesn't know this, but my motivation to go to center every week was not bhajans, but the fact that Uncle Suresh would be speaking after bhajans. Something I've always remembered from a talk of his was this anecdote that we can either have our mind in pieces or peace of mind. Hopefully, being here with our fellow youth today brings us this divine peace of mind. Harsha, would you like to tell everyone a little bit more about our next speaker?
I would love to. Dr. Suresh Govind is a senior professor and the former head of the Department of Parasitology. He has served as Deputy National Youth Coordinator, Vice President of Education, Deputy President, as well as President for the Satya Sai International Organization, Malaysia. He has been instrumental in many nation-building programs in the country and has traveled extensively around the world upon invitation to speak to youth, educators, members of the organization on human values and selfless service. Currently, he is the coordinator for community engagement for 120 countries under the Public Outreach Committee for the Global Satya Sai International Organization. Dr. Govind has published more than 140 scientific papers, presented more than 270 conference papers, and written several chapters in the publications by the World Health Organization. He's been appointed by the Prime Minister of Malaysia to be a member of the National Unity Consultative Council and the Committee for Interfaith Promotion, a board member of IKLIN, and chairman of the Board of Trustees for the Foundation for the Unity of Malaysia. Krishana, what a privilege it is to have such an accomplished individual among us today.
It really is.
Dr. Govind, we are so looking forward to hearing from you.
Without further ado, we welcome you to the stage.
Bhagavan, Swami, by his infinite mercy and compassion that we all have come together in this most beautiful environment and surrounding. Dr. Phil Goslin, Dr. Joe, leaders of your Satya Sai organization in USA, Satishan, Zone 1 Youth Coordinator, brothers and sisters, Sai Ram. Yeah. It gives me a great privilege, extremely honored and humbled to be here in your midst. To be honest, I'm still suffering from this jet lag. So if you see me talking a bit of nonsense, you will excuse me. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Since you have come for a retreat, and a retreat means that you have been engaging in the world, you have been competing in the world outside, choices in your career, choices in life partner. You got stress, you have got problems, you got issues, all these things boggling. What is the solution? You can't find. Sometimes you find that, in fact, the stress levels in humanity has gone so high up now. In our country, the stress, but depression is 1 to 5. I'm not sure in your country what is the levels, but it's going up and up. Living in a world like this, with all the modern amenities, with everything given to us, and yet if you're feeling this, then there must be something that we must look at. We must see whether we can change the way we are operating. So in a retreat, you have to retreat. That means in a war, if you're fighting a war, you retreat now. When you retreat now, you have to look back and see. That means stand apart. Puttaparthi means put apart the I. You know, puttaparthi? Put apart the I. So, yes. This is actually Swami said. Put apart the I means take away the I. You are now here on a retreat. No more that I. No, don't worry about all your issues and your problems. Because even as you look at me, there is this issue. Maybe your issue will be what time this is going to finish. Will dinner be okay? What will they be serving? Okay, that could be one issue. But nevertheless, if you can be 100% be present here for the next 3 days and return back to your life and suddenly see the whole perspective change. The way you look at things differ. The way you interact with humanity becomes different. You know, it's a new being. And that is what, whether we want to be this new being. So that's what it is. Dare to be divine. There's a divine being. But you know, I believed myself because for 14 days when I was born, people came to my house and looked at this baby in the cradle and called it names, you see, because only in 14th or 15th day they give me a name. Until then, I'm just a sound symbol. Beep, beep, boo, boo. They will pinch me here, pinch me there, and give me a lot of sound names. It's only after on the 14th or 15th day, they come and name me Suresh. And the organizers have given me a tag. In case I forget, please remember your name is Suresh. Okay, so, so there you are. Now once the name has been given to me, so now I got a label. So over the years I grew up, now I'm a professor. So what am I? Professor. Oh, professor. There. Teacher, okay, lecturer, whatever. All these are just labels. And these all are labels. If I get identified with all these things, I forget my nature. Have you seen this movie, Black, Amitabh Bachchan's movie? Have you seen it? Yeah. If you haven't seen, at least after this retreat, go and see. One resolution. So when you see that movie, somewhere in the middle, he goes out. I mean, he's an old man and he goes out, and suddenly he forgets to come back home. He forgets to come back home, and somebody else takes him back and returns him to his house. And then they go to a doctor and they find and diagnose him to have Alzheimer's. So which means to say his memory got lost. All of us came from the divine nature and divine state, and we came here and we are suffering from spiritual Alzheimer's. We suddenly forgot to return back home. We forgot to experience home. And so we live in this world identifying ourselves with so many things. And that is when we know that we're returning back home, when we are in the hospital, in the ICU, when we are breathing there. Why is it called ICU? It's because he's saying, I want to see you. It is at that crucial moment, the realization comes to us. But when the realization comes to us, we suddenly find it is too late. That is why you're very fortunate people. In fact, these 300 people who are coming here are really blessed, because you're beginning to understand the whole inner nature of yourself at a young age. So we need not be afraid to live in this world bravely, fearlessly, happily, enjoying every moment of our life. That is what the promise of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba is to every human being on earth. And you have come for that purpose, I have come for that purpose, and this is what this whole experience is. So, first resolution, or first condition, make your mind be available. Baba said, I'm not interested in your ability. I'm not interested in your capability. I'm interested in your availability. So you must be available. Second point is that when you come tomorrow, you bring a piece of paper or some notebook or something so you can take down these points. Because you go for biology class, you go for chemistry class, you take all these notes with you. But spirituality, you find that we don't normally do so. So I can be invited again next year and speak the same subject, and you'll also come and tell me, oh, it's a good talk. But I said that the last time, I know, but, So have this notebook, because you are going to pick up points in which you have to change few things of yourselves and maybe experience a bit more harmony and peace. That's what the whole idea is. Okay, so dare to be divine. This is 15 years ago. Brother Jaga, I think, came here to Chicago, and he spoke about this. He's my mentor in Malaysia. He's the one who actually picked me up and groomed me and all that. So he's the one who coined this dare to be divine, and he's 15 years ago he did this. Hundreds of years ago, when we started, Satishan said brothers and sisters, and we are saying brothers and sisters. 100 years ago, Swami Vivekananda came to Chicago and said the same word, brothers and sisters. Of course, he was privileged because he got many, many minutes of applause, but here there's no applause. Never mind. So, okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay, look at this beautiful picture. Beautiful picture. Can you see nature? Can you see tree? Can you? Yeah. What else can you see? Can you see the plants and all that? What else can you see? This is an interactive session, I don't want it to be a lecture. So what else can you see? Okay, anybody? How many of you see a picture of nature here? Hands up. How many of you cannot see anything? Too far, okay. What else can you see in this picture? Yeah. Can you see carefully? You see, now somebody said Krishna, then you look for, oh, yeah, he's there. Oh, okay. So he's there. So where is he? Can you see Krishna here? Look at his face. Look at the two legs. Can you see? Yeah. Now, you see, you have to strain a little bit. You have to look within it, and you have to see. This picture is a very important picture. Why? Because many people say, can you see, guys? Guys normally are a bit slower, but okay, doesn't matter. The idea is to see. So, have you seen? Okay. You still cannot see? Ooh. I don't have a clicker. Okay, there you are. Can you see? That's Krishna's face. You got it? You are Christopher Columbus. You have discovered. You have discovered. Okay, great, brilliant. Okay, now, it's a very important point. Why? Because some people say, okay, if Baba exists, Baba is there, it's all right. But I have no contact with him. I have not even seen him. So why should I be inspired by him? Number one. Number two, if he wants me to do it, he has to reveal himself. Show me. Because there are some people like that. You show it to me, I will come. Does God exist here? Is he seen? Show it to me. And now Swami said, God cannot reveal himself. You have to discover the divinity by yourself. This is called sadhana. That means to say, by our sadhana, we will be able to discover godliness in everything that we see. In fact, in the interview room once, I took Swami's hands and put on my head. He asked me, what are you doing? I said, Swami, I want enlightenment now. Give it to me now. I said, instantly. Swami said, enlightenment is like this. He put his hand. Enlightenment is not a business transaction for me to give you and for you to take. You have to earn it, he said. Meaning that we have to have the sadhana, the ability to exert effort, the ability to focus, the ability, despite all the pull of the Maya, the pull of this continuous focus, we'll suddenly see the divine in the nature. And that is what this all beautiful picture is. So our job is to discover. When you return back, see Sai in everything, see God in everything, see everything, you see happiness and joy. Sai devotee, if you are a Sai devotee, the hallmark is you should be happy. You are a Sai devotee. Very long face. The longer the face, greater the devotion. No. There are people who have very long face, very sad face, always worry. They always like this sound. In medical terms, we call this the lizard syndrome. Only the lizards make this sound. Lizards have stopped making this sound because humanity is doing it so beautifully well. So this is what, next one, next slide. So, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant, but forgotten the gift. Who said this? Einstein said this, a scientist. He's saying this. We've forgotten a gift, which means if each one of us can create and bring out this beautiful divine being, life is no more stressful. Whatever you want in your life, it comes to you, stress-free. That is what God is prepared to give us. But unfortunately, we need to focus back on this. Then we can get it easily. Lots of people think that they need to go through very stressful, very hard, very tough. It's very difficult. Not necessary. Life is joy, happiness. That means to say, even if you get an obstacle coming to you, you just know how to manage it. No issue. One of you get up in your hand and you put up your hand and say, Professor, I think you're stupid. Let us say. And then I go to Dr. Phil Gosselin and Dr. Joe. See, you invited me, they're insulting me. But if you get up and say, I'm stupid, then I will say, only I knew the secret. How did you also come to know? The moment I know that I diffuse the whole problem, no more. See, it's how you manage the whole thing. But that management can only come if we are conscious of this higher state in ourselves. Next one. So, dare to be divine, just check. Anger, is it a divine quality or negative quality? Negative. Happiness, is it a divine quality or negative quality? Divine. Sacrifice, divine, negative? Divine. Kindness, talking ill of others? Negative. Okay, peace, procrastination, envy, jealousy, fear, stubborn. So now, how much of our time is spent on the negative qualities, talking ill? Did you hear? No, what? Can you see? we know it's a negative quality, but we spend a lot of time in those areas like that. Happiness. Happiness is a divine quality, but how much time we spend? How happy are we every day in our life? How many of you get up in the morning and say, yes, life, here I come. Get up. No, I don't have to go to Mama. Please, Mama. If you 10 minutes, Mama, please. And you go, people ask you, how are you? So. How are you? Pulling along. Have you heard of this word? Pulling along. A wire comes to you. Pulling. I asked somebody, how are you? He said, up and down. I said, are you working in the lift? So there you are. That means to say that this cannot be considered like that. It must be every moment. How are you? Okay, fine, great, brilliant. How are you? Great. Ooh, you must be. When you go back now to your office or to your workplace, people ask you, how are you? Good, happy. You? What are you so happy about? I'm just happy. That's it. That's why 364 days you're not happy. 365th day we come to your house and say, happy birthday to you. And the whole room is dark and the cake is there. The only light coming out from the cake, and to that cake you will take it close to you and blow the candle. The only light also is gone in the name of happiness. Okay, next one. So more time is spent. So happiness is click. Next. How this is study, because I'm a science man. Philosophy is one thing. So you read a philosophy, you can believe. But you always must back it up with science. What is the science? And everything, I always check back. If somebody says something, I try and see what does the science say behind it. Harvard University's grand study of human development. This is the longest running longitudinal studies of human development in history. It began in 1938, 75 years later, and $20 million spent. Factors that contribute, studied, like everything, like anything. Big intensive study, PhD people investigating, doing surveys. After $20 million, they came to this conclusion. Factors that contributed to human happiness and success. Happiness is, that means they found out what happiness is. Happiness is, click, love. Hey, this familiar? That's what Baba is saying, same thing. Love all, serve all. So we sing it, love all, serve all. And then we sing with a long face and mournful, and then go back. But the point is, happiness is love. Which means to say, if we have love, we will be happy. In the moment something strikes you, you'll be forever happy, enjoying the whole moment. Because there's love. These two goes together. So when you have love, you'll be happy. So the point is, when we are not having enough love, then we'll be very unhappy. So the question is, in Swami's case, what is it that we must do? You must fall in love with Bhagavan. Actually, with Bhagavan, you cannot fall in love. You normally rise in love. When you, with others, you may fall. With Swami, you... Yeah. And you see, very interestingly enough, look at this. Look at this. If you fall in love with a boy or girl, don't do it. But at least don't do it now. But if you do, you'll find that suddenly, wherever you go, you think of her. Whatever you're eating, you think of that. Whoever you see, suddenly you tap and suddenly see the girl turns, hey, this is not the person. So you suddenly start, you start superimposing her on everyone else. And the biggest problem is so light. Everything is becoming so jovial. It's just because you have so much love for this individual. If love for an individual can make you so light, love for God can make you feel so amazingly, incredibly inspirational. You find there's nothing is a problem anymore. So many people, what they do is they have a picture of Baba and they're in the altar and all that. So we go to the altar and we pray, we fall on the feet and fall on Swami's altar and take care of Swami. You're very good. And then we lock up the altar there and we go and deal with all the other issues back. And then once a week, maybe we come to the Sai Center. Swami, we are here, I'm here. Sai Ram, Swami, Swami. Oh, and then again finish the center and we lock him up. You remain here, I'll come back the next week. So when you fall in love with God or rise in love with God, you take God by your hand and do whatever that you are doing. You talk to him. Swami, I'm going for the examination. You must be with me. Swami, examination is coming. Swami. But of course, he will say you must study also. You just, you're not studying. No, Swami is with me. Then I don't think you can pass. But the point here is that whatever that you are doing, you have him with you all the time. So happiness is God. Happiness is God, and you must evaluate how much of love and trust you have on him. When I was coming here in the flight, 28 hours later in the flight, so when we were flying, I didn't go to the pilot and ask him, excuse me, will we reach Chicago? Every 15 minutes if I disturb him, is Chicago coming? So what happens if there's a cloud in there? Would you go above the cloud or do you go us? Very soon he will get irritated. Oh, I may cause a big crash. I don't do that. I am sitting in the seat, having the faith that God will take me to Chicago. Through the pilot, of course. So the pilot lands the flight, and I'm safe. I'm not disturbed. I'm not agitated. If I can have that much of faith in a pilot that takes me to this country, why cannot I have faith in the Creator who says, whatever it is, I know you will take, finish. That itself is the first step. Having an incredible, amazing amount of faith that whatever happens. So what is the consequence of faith? Your face must have a smile. Eyes must have a twinkle. Feet must be always very light. And you're not at all. Your shoulders are not drooping. Wow. Material people are happy because of. Why are you happy? My house is big. Why are you happy? My car is big. Why are you happy? I'm a member of a club. Spiritual people are happy in spite of. Can you see the difference? In spite of the fact that my house is small, I'm happy. In spite of the fact that I got a nagging wife, I'm still happy. Or an irritating husband, I'm still happy. It's okay. In spite of the fact that I have an examination to face in 3 days and I have not had the time to manage all this, I'm happy. I know. I'm okay. He's the pilot. He's going to take me there. The moment I have that, immediately the burden comes down. The burden is down. So, love. Happiness is love. This is from the university's research after $20 million. Okay? Next one. So, don't worry about getting old. Worry about thinking old. Yeah. So, some people say, finish your youth life and then you go, you're not participating in anything? No, I'm not a youth anymore. How are you? Oh. Some people, after very active in the youth, and then they get married, and then suddenly they disappear. So why are you not coming anymore? Suresh, I'm married. So I told him, I just want to remind you that marriage is not cancer. It is just a process in life. Some people are like that. They just have and then they just disappear. We are here until the end. And the organization says youth is until 35, 40 and all that. Why should you? Until you finish your last breath. You are youthful. Remain there. And until you become excited, you become energetic, you become enthusiastic. That's it. And that youthfulness is because of love. And love expresses as happiness. See? Yeah. So, thinking of all. Next one. So in the Constitution of the World Health Organization, approved in 1948, health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. This is the WHO's definition. Next, you find in the next slide, so definition, health, condition of being sound in the body, mind, or spirit. There you are. This is the Webster's definition, the dictionary. If you're healthy, means mentally you must be happy, physically you must be okay, and spiritually you must be there. So you must be connected to have the spirit. That needs complete health. Okay, next. So now, this boy comes, birthday, Papa comes. Son, see what I bought for you. Papa! So nice, it's an aeroplane, small little. So the boy takes the aeroplane like this, and then he runs here, runs there, goes in the garden, he plays with it, he's so excited and so happy. And then the father comes 2 days later, son, come here. How do you play with this toy? He said, no, I take the aeroplane, I fly like this, I fly like that, I go, take it everywhere. Come here. Bring that box which I gave you. So he brings this box. See, inside that box, there is a small manual. So he takes the manual, the father reads the manual, interpreting the contents to the son. Then he said, take this inside. Then he said, inside that box there is a joystick. Hold it in your hand. Papa, why Papa? Hold it in your hand. I am telling you, so if I am telling you, you have to be silent. Because your divinity is very important for the transformation to take place. So now he is putting the aeroplane on the ground, he takes 3 steps aside, and then he is pushing the joystick. So the aeroplane is going. Papa, aeroplane is going by itself. Papa, it will retreat, silently observe. The aeroplane goes back, Papa, will it come back? What? Papa is taking off. The aeroplane is taking off. What? It's flying. And then it's going, dancing, moving. And it comes back. Papa, I never knew. 2 days I took the aeroplane all over the place. Yes, that's why you need to read the manual. If you read the manual, you can take the aeroplane across over your problem, across over your thing. But I don't know, I didn't read. Yeah. How many of you here have read the Vahini? Satyasai Vahini, Prashanti Vahini, Sutra Vahini, Upanishad Vahini. This is Vahinis written by Bhagavan Sri Satyasai. How many? Okay, so it demonstrates that the manual has not been read. Now when the manual has not been read, you are taking this body, this mind, and crushing into this world, slashing there, hitting here, knocking here. Why am I so stressed? Why God? You run to the temple, the Gurudwara, the church and the mosque and say, why me God? Why me? And the clouds become clear and there's a voice from the sky. Why not? The whole point here is that I gave that manual to you. Why didn't you read it and see and understand how to operate my system? Can you see? So reading the manual is reading the scripture. And that is one of the core of the conduct, which is the reading of the satisfactory. So actually when you go back to the terms of reference, you will find a lot of things that we are doing in life may not be complying to the way in which we are supposed to operate. So this is the whole essence of whatever the problem is. So this boy suddenly discovered how to fly the aeroplane over the issues and the problems. Next. So he's flying from there, the small aeroplane, and next you find that the aeroplane is now flying, and he's excited. That means my system can actually fly over many things. Oh, I should have read that. Okay, next one. Through the remote, which is the joysticks. Okay, next. So what happened then? So what is our manual? Where is this manual? Now I want you to understand the stuff based on our thing, because many things will go wrong if you don't understand in essence. It is like this person who went to the doctor and said, doctor, I have a problem, doctor. My problem is whatever that I am doing. My wife is getting to become deaf. Really? Yeah. How do it's a very sensitive subject. So how do I make her become aware that she is deaf? The doctor said, no problem. You come into the house, you stand a few feet away, and then you ask her the question, and come closer and come closer and come closer. Then when she turns around to answer you, then you will know that is the distance that you need to speak to her, and you know therefore she's there for that. So the patient person went back home, and then from the doorway, entering the house, she said, "Darling, what is cooking?" And she's in the kitchen, she's cooking. She's not responding. So she felt a bit sad. 2 more steps. "Darling, what is cooking?" Nothing. To another few more steps. "What is cooking?" No more. Entered into the kitchen hallway. "What is cooking?" Nothing. Now he's breathing down her neck, and she's actually making something there. "Darling, what is cooking?" "Oh, for the life of me, how many times should I tell you I'm frying vegetables?" Who is that for? So the husband now is actually deaf. So the husband's problem is projected, concept, reflection, reaction, resound. The whole world becomes problem. But the inner alignment is not made. So whatever problems you have in your life is a projection of something that has not gone out of alignment. We come towards understanding this, but no issue. That's why we need to understand spirituality with essence. I'm understanding it with the right essence. Otherwise it will be like a drunk who comes there, and the two drunks was talking, and the drunk said, "Excuse me, I think this is a moon." So the other man said, "No, it's not a moon. It's a sun." So the other man said, "I am telling you that it's a moon." And the other drunk said, "No, it's a sun. No, it's a moon. No, it's a sun." So they were fighting like this for 5 minutes, and a third drunk comes along, and he's staggering. "See, come here. Settle this problem for us. Is this a sun or a moon?" "I'm very sorry, I don't live in this community." Makes sense? Doesn't make sense? See, the point is, in everything, the spirituality aspect of it has to fall, make sense. Where does it come from? What is it? Why are they telling this? And what's the logic of that? And if you put a science to it, you got no problem. Then you're on autopilot of everything. So don't understand it sporadically, and don't understand it enthusiastically. Don't understand it by being motivated, because I can assure you by Sunday evening you will be motivated. It only takes until Tuesday or Wednesday, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Then it becomes, this whole thing, this experience will only become a memory. And then a faith memory. What will you do? And you will look for the next connection. So that should not be the way. So now the issue here is that you must understand. So in the mountains, these mountains, in the Himalayan range of the mountains, these people who wanted to know what is it like, what is the extra, what is the essence, what is the purpose of life. If that thought some of you might already have. How is it going to be? What am I going to be inspired by? Is there another dimension to this existence? In fact, the history of human civilization is the history of how people were curious. Science developed because of curiosity. If you have no curiosity, nothing will happen. You need to know, why is this? Why is it? So these people who wanted to know something beyond went up to the Himalayan mountains and stood there in deep meditation. They were at different points in the mountains. So when they were all meditating, the knowledge began to be revealed to them. This revelation of knowledge is called Sruti, which means it just came. The knowledge came to them, and they started to write it down in some stylus. Now, at different parts of the hill and the mountains, these were the secrets revealed. I want to tell you this. Yeah, so this, how can you say it is spirituality? It is revealed knowledge. So what about in science? Science is not revealed. Science is very systematic. Actually, it is not true. Being a scientist for 20, 30 years, you come to a certain point. When you want to leap to the next point, you have to think about it. And you think suddenly one day, one idea will hit you. Hey, I call my PhD student, have you tried this? I said, no. Why haven't you tried this? It is not in the books. If you're going to follow everything according to the books, I don't think we need a researcher in this lab. so you explore. So he goes and does something and explores, he puts it, Professor, it works, and we publish papers like that. So you come to a point, and then by some inspiration, you get this knowledge which comes to you based upon certain things. You leap from one platform of consciousness to another platform of consciousness. You get this. This is called revelation. So these rishis stood in these places and got this revealed knowledge to demonstrate and to show to people how we can return back to God. So now when these things was written, came one editor. Who is the discoverer of physics? Who discovered physics? only discovered gravity, not physics. And you will never find in a physics textbook, by. You will find one word there, what is it? Edited by. So you will have all the science book, an editor who compiles this and puts it into systematic order. In the same way, there came one guy who went around the mountains, picked up all these things and put it into a systematic order. Who is he called? What is the first guru? Oh, yeah. Somebody said that, yeah? So Vyasa, sage Vyasa was the first guru who compiled. He edited the subject and put it into all some logical sense. All this was told in Upanishad Vahini by Baba. So when it's put into some sequential order, the portions of it became the Vedas. This is Rig Veda, Atharvaveda, Samaveda, and Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharvaveda, Samaveda. Now these Vedas came. So now we got a book. The end portion of each of these Vedas were the Upanishads. What's this? These Upanishads were philosophical discussions between teacher and student, teacher and student. How many of them? 1,180 Upanishads. My God, really? And all they were discussing was on the value systems. How this is there? How is it that there was a debate? 1,180, how to remember. So, and true enough, many of these documentations got lost. There were 10 of these Upanishads were collected, and this was being made popular by Shankaracharya. And this 10 then became what is condensed into the Bhagavad Gita. So the Gita then contains the essence. You see, it's a very systematic how we should live, how to interact with the world. All the extraction, the theme, underlying theme of all the Vahinis are only one. How to get to connect to Atma, how to get connected to Atma. So you are comprised of, and I am comprised of, this is body. Suresh the body. Then here, Suresh the mind. Here, Suresh the intellect. 3, huh? Then the soul. So I have to go like this now. So this is the body, this is the mind, this is the intellect, and there is soul. So I must get to him. But to get to him, I must transcend these 3. Now, many of us get stuck in the physical. This is the body, physical. Hey, how do you like my hair? How do you like my body? Oh, hey, this is so nice. The Gucci handbag. Okay, so this, we all have this physical plane. And we spend most of the time, 50%, 60%, 70% at the physical plane. Arranging the life, getting the house. It's all very important, but this is at the physical plane. Then we get into emotional plane. How do you like this? Do you like it? Is it nice? I enjoyed it. I don't like it. So this is all expressions at the mental level. Now, intellectual level, you find that what is your opinion about the new government that has come? So now when you have that is what intellectual opinion. You see? So this is opinion at the intellectual level. I have to transcend physical experiences, mental, emotional states, intellectual opinions and perceptions and so on. And then come to experience what? This is why in Buddha Bhakti when you go, you are not supposed to take any books inside. You see? Yeah. So you will line up and sit there. How many hours you sat there? 3 hours. Baba came? No. Then afternoon you come. How many hours you sat? 4 hours. Swami came? No. 7 hours? What did you do? Sit down. Can you take a book? Cannot. You are only allowed to take your passport. And how long can you read your passport? Say, so now there you are. You cannot read, you cannot move, you cannot get up, you cannot move this side because if you get up, your seat will. So you are not there. You are disengaging yourself from the world outside. You are sitting there. Is it boring? Boring. What is boring? So once the thing comes in, suddenly you get acclimatized to the routine. Do you know people who go there for many days? They don't even know what day it is. In fact, you don't even know what time because you are not connecting to anything. And then you get inside. When you are connected to the blissful state, even after 2 years or 1 year, you want to go back there. Why are you going back there? I don't know. Whenever I go there, I feel so peaceful. That's so. Why are you so peaceful? What do you do? Nothing. You do nothing. Then what do you do? When I'm there, I get connected. I'm inside. So, when you go visit to Puttaparthi or any places of pilgrimage, you find you get a connectivity to what? The higher self. Even here when you wanted to come. Many of you, how many of you think you decided to come and that's it, and you decided to come? How many of you think like that? How many of you think that Bhagavan decided you should be here and not here? Yeah. Why some of you have no decisions at all? Your point might might feel that you telephone your friend, are you going to this camp? No, I don't feel like going. Are you going? Okay, if you are going, I'll follow. Okay, doesn't matter. But anyway, one prompting is there and you have come. One prompting is there and you have come. Why? Because the soul is stirred. Hey, it's a good place. Go and learn, see what's happening. Stir, give yourself an opportunity. So this Upanishads and the Gita is all about the Atma realization, and the Vahinis is also about that. That means that is the manual. If I can read the manual, understand the manual, I'll be able to be inspired, I'll be able to live in this world. So dare to be divine, number one, is to dare to acknowledge what? That there is another being in me. There is another self in me which I have not invoked. I must now get accomplished, I must now move there and get myself. And that is what he wants. Throning the Atmic operation is quite different from the mind operation. You see, sometimes many of us work from morning to evening and you get very stressed out. Oh, I'm so stressed, I just need a break. Somebody told me, I just want my space. I want my space. I heard this 3-4 times. This person told me, I need my space. I need a break. Finally, I said, why don't you become an astronaut? You have all the space in the world. So when you want to take a break, means you are so stressed out. A person who enjoys life will never take a break. We enjoy everything. It's never. When we get up in research in the morning, we enjoy looking for a problem. And some student come to us and say, Professor, I have a problem. Oh, my eyes are too good. Really? Come on, sit down. I'm so happy because my life is thriving on solving other people's problems. So it's a very nice thing to face problem. So when you have a problem, many people don't want to face issues, don't want to face problems. So the manual is saying, how do you face it? How do you look at it? So dare to be divine. Number one, acknowledge that I am divine. And Baba said that, I am God. My job is to make you realize you are God. Muhammad Ali, at Madison Square, they had a boxing match here. I'm not sure. But Muhammad Ali, the great boxer. He said, he didn't say I'm great. He didn't say I'm greater. He didn't say I'm the greatest. He said, I am the greatest. The rope and all that. So he used to be a great fan of him. So he used to say that I'm the greatest. Baba didn't say you are great. Baba didn't say you are greater. Baba didn't say you are the greatest. Baba said you are God. I'm God. You are God. Then why am I not realizing that I'm God? Because I'm so identified with Suresh. His name, which everybody has put. So I'm identified. So I'm limiting myself. The moment I'm limited to myself, I cannot operate from the Atmic self. So dare to be divine. Number one, our operational system of thinking, operational way of living suddenly becomes a drastic change. Impossibility will never be in the dictionary. Very powerful. Can you do it? Yes. The next time somebody, excuse me brother, is it possible? Yes, it can be. What I'm not even mentioned, doesn't matter, I'm Atma, I will be able to solve no issue. See, now can I do it? It's like some people, can you come for the meeting? When is it? Saturday. What time for? I'm not able to do it. So, when is the next meeting? Next meeting is 3 weeks time. When is it date? Oh, I can't do it. You must be busier than Obama. All the dates are full. We can't even commit to anything. So, see, that is because we are not putting this as a priority. See, when you put this as a priority, the day will move and it will arrange itself accordingly for you to commit inside. So, this is the 1180 Upanishads. Next. So, we have this body, mind, intellect. Click. You find that this is the body, this is the mind, this is the intellect. So, these are the 3 components. We function in this world in this manner. See, interesting. Body, mind, intellect. But if we continue living in this plane of consciousness, we will stay. The dog cannot come to this consciousness. It has only limitations. Animals cannot. Only human being can achieve a higher sense of Atmic connectivity. So, this is body, this is mind, this is intellect. So therefore, this is the, it's the same way in the handphone. What's your phone? I got an iPhone. Is it Samsung? Oh, and what about you? I got the iPad. So that's the body. See, that's the body. Oh, your phone is so nice, it's got all fantastic. Now, if I go one more step, I click, and I find application. That's the mind. You've got so many different applications. Your applications will be quite different from my applications. Your contact list will be contact. So that's the mind. You have your association. And what operates the body and the mind is the battery. Now, how do you talk about the phone? Just say, talking for technology. Phone is good, phone is nice, phone is great, phone is brilliant. So you talk about it. How many of us talk about the battery? What is the battery we use? Very seldom the conversation goes to the battery level. Can you see? It's always the phone. And the phone is not good. We change the phone, buy a new phone, download the application. But all those two things are being operated by, regulated by, governed by battery. But very seldom we talk about the battery like that. We talk about the body most of the time. We talk about the mind so many of the times. We talk about the intellect many of the times. But very seldom we speak about the Atma. So God himself took the form of a Bhagavan Baba. Now came to remind us, through all his discourses and talks, there is another being that you now need to invoke. This is the Atman connection. Invoke this, you will find you can achieve everything in this world. You'll be blissful, you'll be happy, you'll be amazed by this. By this battery, you can operate and manage this too. See, can you see the next one? So, in life we always seek improvement. Now, supposing I tell you, there is this market in Chicago, this is a supermarket, and they're selling 50 cents, 50% off. So it's good to go and see after your, after your camp, you go and have a look at this particular market. They're selling 50%. See, 50%. Yes, costumes and everything else come at 50%. Wow! You said, check it out. Let's check it out. Okay. So now there's a restaurant here. Oh, they serve the best vegetarian meal. Really, if you go inside, they just give you for $5 US. You think, really, where is it? It's there. Check it out. The new car that is coming out. My God, you're sitting in that car, that experience that you get, you just drive, it looks like as if you're an aeroplane. Really, I have to check it out. I have to check it out. Okay, so everything of this world, we check it out. Now, interesting, huh? Look at the way the world moves. Click, see. There, earlier, gramophone. See, this is how the gramophone records were created. Sound came from there. Sorry, this is not the gramophone, this is the telephone. The Graham Bell's telephone. This is the original picture of Graham Bell's telephone. Okay, click. Telephone became like that. See, click. Then it became like this. And then click. Wow. Now this is an evolution from that. So what does it mean? Everything we create, we change, we evolve, we differ. And in science, in material, everything is changing, everything is improving. Click like one. You see, you find that you have the horse and carriage, those days. Then you have there this type of carriages. Then now you have the supercar. So based on that, for locomotion, evolution came. We change, we transform. So human being, in everything in this world is changing and transforming. Why people are becoming more and more sick these days? Why is it that people are getting depressed? The world changed, but unfortunately, we didn't know how to cope with those by making sure we unplug from the various levels of our existence and plug to the divine. So, that to be divine means I want to now unplug and plug back. You are everything, you control it. So this is how evolution has been in science. You take that. So the happiness quality drops like crazy over life. Next. So this is a big huge statistics on dynamics. Okay, just to show you that we're talking sense. Okay, next. Okay, look at the family here. 1960 family, 1980 family, 2000 and 2020. So the families have become smaller as the age goes by, and then the communication has become enhanced. So over the years now, quality of happiness has been enhanced. So this is those days people used to stand like that and read, and nowadays we are like that. So these are all contrast and of course they also might be reading. Okay. Next. This is interesting. Why does regular Barbie cost $19.95 and divorced Barbie cost $299? Yes. Divorced Barbie comes with Ken's car, Ken's house, Ken's boat, Ken's furniture, Ken's jewelry, Ken's money, Ken's computer, and Ken's best friend. Okay, next one. Okay. You can't park in the handicapped zone just because you lost your phone. Okay. So, can you see the dependency on the technology? Baba used to say technology is trigonology. So suddenly we became so attached to these things that we find that this is becoming like a handicap to us. Look at this, you can't park in handicapped zone just because you lost your phone. Next. So 1996 they used to drag the child inside to be in study. Now they're dragging the child out to play football or to play games. So the life has changed, landscapes have changed. Even in our country it is like that. Okay, next. Yeah. So this is interesting. This guy is getting up from the coffin and he said, I forgot my phone. These are a little bit exaggerated things, but yes. I hope it's an exaggeration. Next one. Yeah. I don't understand, it's getting shorter, it's because This is very true now. This is because of the fact that everybody, where did you go yesterday? I went with my family. Really, you have family over very nice. They all sit in the restaurant and everybody's in handphone and everybody. For all purposes, that was supposed to be family connection, but only making connectivity to the phone. So it's becoming a trichonology. The Maya is getting to become more and more absorbing ourselves. So chances of getting that side is becoming lesser because the mind is not pulling. Can you see this is the tussle? It's not coming there. So we're getting stressed out here, but he's asking to come back there. But the point is we need to let go. But how do we let go? Yeah, okay, next one. So she can't cook but knows how to order online. This here. Next one. Okay, 10 lines. Look at the 10 lines of next generation. This is just to show you the extent of things. Okay, next one. Look at this. This is a very interesting picture. The man is crossing the road, but the animal is using the. This is a scene that we took from our country. Okay, next one. See, the buffaloes are going in one line, but the car jammed is there. Next one. You see the dogs are all lining up in a queue, but there's a queue here. Okay? So what are you doing? Baba is asking. I said my life is my message, not my life is messaging. Okay, next one. So these are humans, these are animals. Look at animals are human. So now okay, next. So people have become educated, but have not become human. So the whole idea is that we have not even become human, how to become divine. So, the point of the story is that in 1 hour, in this session, I just wanted to introduce to you the concept of becoming divine. The acknowledgement that there is a divine being. And then the need for us to move from the physical, mental, intellectual plane and get connected to something higher. So because in this something higher, you can get something. Swami said, Atma is infinite. Wow, that's fantastic. When you read the word Atma is infinite, what does it mean? It means that if I can plug into the Atma, I can become infinite. Infinite happiness, infinite joy, infinite whatever possibilities I become infinite. Atma is completely and totally joy. So why I should stay here? I must go there. Atma gives you incredible courage and fearless. So when I'm there, I'm sitting here, I'm so afraid of this, I'm so afraid of this. But if I'm connected there, wow, Swami is there. So it's about unplugging from these normal situations and plugging from there. And then from there, you can now see those three, you can manage those three. Meaning, don't be at the top of the waves, because at the top of the waves will be very stormy and amazingly very distressful, but get to the seabed. When we are at the seabed, you can look up and you can see the waves dancing, but you are safe, you are stable, you are secure, you are sane. When you have all these things going for you, then you can be productive, you can become efficient, you can achieve whatever that you want to achieve in the shortest possible time. So how are we going to do that? Tomorrow we will go into the details of the mechanism, which is why I asked you to bring a notebook, because we will go into each component part to make sure that we unplug from here and get there and become plugged there, so that we don't have to dare anymore to be divine, we will become divine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Uncle Suresh. Is everybody inspired by that or what? That was amazing. It certainly took me home for a minute. I really resonated with the idea that when we take Swami by the hand, when we rise in love and allow God to be in every moment, that we'll always be happy. I love when he said, the consequence of faith is a smile. That was just so beautiful.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that as well. As well as the concept, the idea that we should analyze ourselves first before projecting our problems and considering them to be other people's problems. For example, the actual deaf husband who thought his wife was deaf. That really hit home for me.
This evening has just been a preview of what's to come over the next couple of days. It's going to be really exciting and energizing, and I hope everyone's even more excited now than you were when we started. We hope you've enjoyed everything so far. Everyone has a few announcements for you.
Just a few. If you take any pictures, social media, don't forget to tag hashtag ZYAF 2019. And then right after this practice is going to be in the main hall at 9. I guess it's not right after this. At 9 p.m. And all delegates who are part of the Parade of Nations, please meet here. And that's going to be followed by the rehearsal of skits. There will be a wake-up call at 4:30 a.m. Yes, you heard me right, 4:30 a.m.
Come to Superbhagam.
Nagar Sankirtan will be at 5 a.m. And just a quick reminder, don't forget to fill your water bottles right outside the hall for the night.
Also take note of the emergency contact numbers that are on the screen right now in case of an emergency. And don't forget to submit your questions for Dr. Suresh. So ZYAF2019.com/questions. Make sure you're submitting these questions. I'm sure you have lots of questions after today's session. And for those of you who haven't already read the welcome guide, we do have a welcome guide that has the agenda, all kinds of guidelines, tips, and that's at ZYAF2019.com/welcome.
Can I just get a quick confirmation that these are all still true? The ZYF theme song is going to be at 8:30, yes? Okay, cool. And then the Saturday morning bhajan session is going to be at 8:45, and we already talked about the Parade of Nations at 9 p.m. Thank you everyone for coming this evening. Hope you have a great evening, and we will see you tomorrow morning.
See you, sayonara.